Dear students, so today we will discuss about decision making under risk. Okay, so last class we discussed about the different criterions that comes under decision making under uncertainty. We discussed about Laplace criterion, criterion of optimism, criterion of pessimism, then Hurwitz's criterion, then Minimax regret criterion. So there were five criterions which comes under decision making under uncertainty. And in this class we will discuss about decision making under risk. Now, what is the difference between decision making under risk and decision making under uncertainty is that in case of uncertainty, we are completely unaware about what is going to happen. We have no clue on what will happen in the future. Okay, so everything is uncertain and you have to make a decision. But when it comes to decision making under risk, the situation is different. In this situation, the decision maker has to face several states of nature, but still he has some knowledge or prior experience which will help him to assign different probabilities for the occurrence of different states of nature. That means when one particular event happens, what can be the probability of success, what can be the probability of failure. Such probabilities can be assigned in case of decision making under risk. Okay. So here we are somewhat sure about the different probabilities, but we are not completely sure about all the factors. There is risk involved, but still the decision maker can assign certain amount of probabilities for the occurrence of each state of nature. So that is the major difference. Okay. So in this case, the objective is to optimize the expected profit or to minimize the opportunity loss. So just like any other situation, here also we are trying to optimize the solution. That means we are trying to minimize the loss and maximize the profit, in short. Okay, so here in decision making under risk, mainly there are two methods that we are considering. That is, the first one is EMV or expected monetary value criterion, and EOL or expected opportunity loss criterion. Then there is one more method which is called as EVPI, that is expected value of perfect information, that we will discuss later. Okay, so here now we can discuss these two methods, that is EMV, that is expected monetary value criterion, and EOL, expected opportunity loss criterion. So first consider the first method, that is EMV, expected monetary value criterion. What does this mean? Here, when probabilities can be assigned to the various states of nature, it is possible to calculate the expected payoff. This is very, very important. We are calculating the expected payoff for each course of action, and this expected payoff is known as EMV. So whenever a payoff matrix is given, then we need to know that this is expected monetary. We need to consider this particular criterion, that is EMV, expected monetary value criterion. So here whenever a payoff is given, we have to maximize the profit, and for that we are calculating the EMV of each criterion, and whichever is having the higher EMV, that is considered. Okay, so we will discuss this with the help of a question. Now consider this particular question. Let the states of nature be S1 and S2 and their alternative strategies be A1 and A2. Okay, and the payoff table is given. So you have A1 and A2 as the two strategies, S1 and S2 is the state of nature. Okay, so for each one, that is in the first state of nature, for the first alternative the payoff is 30, and for the second alternative it is 20. For the second state of nature, for the first it is 35, and for second strategy it is 30. So the payoff matrix is given. Okay, and the probability is also given. Let probabilities of the state of nature be 0.6 and 0.4 respectively. That means for S1 it is 0.6 and for S2 it is 0.4. So here we need to calculate the EMV for each and every state of nature, that is A1 and A2, and then we need to find out which one is having the higher EMV. So how we will calculate EMV for A1. So let's calculate the EMV for A1. So the formula is, your payoff is given and you know the probability for each and every state of nature. So you need to multiply that probability with the payoff and then summate it with how many ever state of nature it is given in the question. Okay, so for here EMV for A1 is, here the first payoff is 30 and 30 is corresponding to S1. The probability of S1 is 0.6. So 30 into 0.6 plus, then for S2 corresponding to A1, for S2 the payoff is 35 and the probability for S2 is 0.4. So 35 into 0.4, and you need to add these two because for both the state of nature, for A1 whatever is given, that probability has to be multiplied with each payoff and then summated. Okay, so you will get the answer as 32. So EMV for A1 is 32. Fine. Then EMV for A2. Similarly for A2 we need to calculate EMV. For A2 again 20 into, so correspondingly you have S1. Okay, so probability of S1 is 0.6, 20 into 0.6 plus again 30 into probability of S2, that is 30 into 0.4. So finally you will get 24. Okay, so EMV for A1 is 32 and EMV for A2 is 24. So here EMV for A1 is greater than that of A2. So we can say that we have to select the first strategy, that is A1 has to be chosen. Okay, so EMV for A1 is greater. Therefore, the decision maker will choose the strategy A1. So here the decision maker will choose the strategy A1, that is the one which is having the highest EMV value. Okay, so this is how you need to find which decision has to be taken in case of EMV criterion, that is expected monetary value criterion. Okay, I hope this is clear to you.